Hello and welcome to the Modern Skein podcast. My name is Sharon Graff and I'm the owner of the Modern Skein, which is a yarn shop here in Montgomery, Texas. It has been a while since I've podcast. Let's just say I've been through, I think we all have been through so much these past few months. I lost my knitting mojo, then I lost my podcasting mojo. Knitting mojo's back, and presumably if you're watching this, my podcast mojo is back as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time watching, thank you so much, and I really appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind giving a thumbs up, a subscribe, get notifications, etc., so that you can also see when next episodes are coming up. I do try and podcast at least every 2 weeks, preferably once a week, but sometimes schedules get in the way and life happens. I think we're all well aware of just life right now. It varies wildly from moment to moment. So, that being said, grab a beverage. I have my coffee in my Modern Skein mug. I hope you can see that. See, okay, this is weird. And this is a total off-topic thing. But I film on my phone. There's a little line on my end right here. So, if you can see my finger, I'll have to watch this back. But it always throws me off because I'm like, do I center myself here? Or do I center myself on everything that I see? Here or there? So, hopefully you can see this. I think it's the whole thing that you can see. I don't know. I've officially reached the age where technology, no idea. Gotta find someone at least 20 years younger than me to explain it. So, that was interesting. My earring just fell out. Okay. Pause. Set dressing. Okay. We're all set. So, first off, it's been so long, I've forgotten how I do a podcast. Let me check my other one. Oh, that was weird. But I start off with what finished objects we have. So I lost my knitting mojo. However, you're going to be like, no you didn't, because I have 4 finished objects to show you. I guess I was making up for lost time once I got it back. I don't know what to say. Because actually all 4 of these I've done since getting my knitting mojo back. And we have a 5th one. This is a wonderful new store sample knit by Sarah, who on Instagram is Avid Knits, and she also has a podcast as well. I believe it's just Avid Knits on YouTube. So I'm going to bring this in here. So talk about this first real quick. Don't mind the pleister bag on here. We do have some of these still in stock in case you're needing a wonderful tote bag to take your knitting from one room in your house to the other room and to your backyard for your vacation, just in case. Anyway, this is the Vintage 83 crop by Andrea Mowry, and it's so cute. It's really adorable. I'm going to have to take some pictures today with me wearing it because I don't think I've taken any. Excuse me. And I've got a cute little maxi dress on and be adorable on top. I'll be sweating, but that's beside the point. It's like 100 and some odd degrees here in Texas. But we still knit because we have air conditioning. So this is the Vintage 83 crop. Let me bring it in a little bit closer. Let's see. You see that? I just want you to see the detailing up here. So Vintage 83 crop is a fingering weight sweater. It is designed for short sleeves and cropped length. However, you can easily modify that to lengthen by just knitting longer here. You could easily add in waist shaping, either with a narrower waist or A-line to flatter you. And you could also lengthen the sleeve. I think personally this would be adorable if you did like a 3/4 length sleeve on it. Like, don't do any tapering, just keep it wide, 3/4, and do a cuff. I think that would be super cute because it is kind of a vintage style. So you have, this is a brioche yoke. So if you're not familiar with brioche, there is no increases actually done in the brioche itself. The increases are done when you change the colors. So in regular knitting, not in brioche, right? Again, I did not knit this. This was a sample, but I read through the pattern and yeah, 99.999% positive that's exactly what it is. So anyway, so we have 3 colors of Surrey yarn, not Ching Fiber Melted Baby Surrey. That is a bit thicker. This is the Silk Surrey. So brands like Red Stag Fiber, which is what we have here, Farmer's Daughter Fiber, their Odang Surrey is the same base. The Como, I think it's Kumo by Lamia to Me, her Surrey base is the same. Suburban Stitchers Surrey base is also the same. So it's a little bit lighter. It's thicker than a mohair still. So if you were to substitute mohair, you would need to double it. But it is not as thick as the Melted Baby Surrey or some of the other thicker alpaca fluff yarns, such as the La Grosse Mohair by Biche and Bouche is quite thick, thicker than that. Like I said, Melted Baby Surrey by Ching Fibers is quite a bit thicker as well. You could definitely use it. It would change your gauge though, so you would need to be mindful. You might need to size down your needle. You might need to knit a different size for the yoke, and maybe just do increases or decreases along the bust to get to a different size that you need. So all the yarn here is Red Stag Fiber. So we have Red Stag Fiber Castle Surrey base in the colorway Isle of Harris, Gilded, and Kelvingrove. I have both of these in stock. I'm out of Kelvingrove at the moment, but Josh is busy at the dye pots and will get us Kelvingrove here coming very shortly. If you want to go ahead and get Kelvingrove, or maybe you want this exact sweater, just email or call the shop. We'll be happy to take a special order. Turnaround time is right now usually sitting about 2 weeks, but we can always see if we can get it out sooner. The main color in this sweater is the Estate Fingering base, which is 100% superwash merino, and it is the colorway Castle Rock. You can see it's just a very nice mottled light gray. Really love this color. It's lighter than Cobblestone. If you've seen that one, it's a lighter gray than that. There is, let me see if you can see. You can just see the beautiful textured stitch on there. It really adds a lot to this sweater. So anyway, it's super cute. If for whatever reason you despise working with fluffy stuff, or you have, well, if you have an alpaca allergy, or you just don't like the idea of mohair or alpaca up on the yoke, you can just use a different color fingering weight. This would be beautiful if you had like a self-striping or a gradient fingering, if you maybe had a skein or two of, say, a spin cycle or a spin cycle type yarn. If you had the fingering weight of the earth gradient yarns. If you just wanted to alternate 3 different fingering weights that you had in your stash or whatnot, it would take, I believe it would take more than a mini skein. But it would, I mean, you could honestly just do mini skeins. You would probably end up with like maybe 4 or 5 colors if you used up mini skeins, but you could totally do that. Otherwise, you're probably looking at using maybe about a quarter, a little more than a quarter, maybe 30 grams, I think. You'd have to double check the pattern, of course, in your size to double check, but because I know the Surrey is only a 50 gram skein, and there was some left over for all of these. So anyway, so this is the Vintage 83 crop. It's super cute. You want to see it on? Let's do that. Let's do a wardrobe change real quick. So this is knit completely to pattern, so there were no modifications done with the exclusion of one. and I will show you. Okay. Ta-da! Back up so you can see. Okay. So, for me, I had Sarah knit down 10 inches total. So, I believe we did, what did we do? An inch. So, I think she knit about 8.5 and then did about 1.5 inches of the ribbing. So for me, 10 inches, basically, there's my belly button right here. So it hits right at my, not quite at my narrowest part of my waist would be like right here. But pretty darn close to the narrowest part of my waist, which is pretty flattering. So it's right above my hips, etc. So if you're going to wear a cropped sweater, typically you want it to hit at your narrow part, or whatever you want to basically create as your narrow part. I mean, for some people that's closer to up here, and actually you can see technically like about here. See the dip change that does? I mean, this is still cute, and the reason I wanted this length is because I wanted to be able to wear, I have some high-waisted pants, and so this length, I don't have to wear a a tank top underneath, and not showing anything. I just want to show you, look at the back side. I love the back, it's so cute. This is actually the whole sweater in reverse, it's super cute. Anywho, so this is the Vintage 83 crop. I'll deal with it later. Okay, so now more finished objects. Let's see. So I'll talk about this one next. So this is the Droplet Capelet by Denise Bayron. See how cute that is? I'm just going to pop it on. Ta-da! No. There we go. Now, you may notice my neckline is quite a bit wider than hers. I knit the size 2 exactly to pattern with one modification. I could not find my size 1 needle, so I cast on a size 2, and I knit only 1 inch of ribbing rather than the 2 or 2.5 that the pattern calls for. I'm also considerably looser than her gauge, so my neckline is basically off the shoulder. It's wide. I love it. If you don't like it, do the actual US 1 to do your ribbing, knit it the appropriate length, and it will tighten up probably about to there. So if you want it looser, do what I did. But yeah, this is just super cute, and it's lightweight, it's easy to throw on. So this takes, technically the size 1 you can knit out of 1 skein. If you want anything besides the smallest size, you need a second skein, especially if you use the yarn that I did. So I used Madeline Tosh Pashmina, which we now carry in the shop, and I will show you the yarn in a moment. It's lovely. It's silk, it's cashmere, it's wool, it's soft, it's drapey, it's luxury. And you can get away with 1 skein for a size 1 if you're, knock on wood, perfect with your gauge. Thank you. And make sure that you bind off probably about 2 rows early. Only because it's technically a sport weight. Pattern that she did it in a fingering weight. Technically the yarn's a sport weight, but it's so good. It's so perfect for it. So, highly recommend that one. Again, the pattern is Droplet Capelet by Denise Bayron. Pattern is available here in the shop. It's available on Ravelry. It may be also directly available from Denise on her website. I'm not 100% sure. With the changes happening on Ravelry, a lot of your, I'll say more full-time designers, so the designers that they do this as a business, this is their full or mostly full-time income, they do also have their own personal websites typically. They've had for a lot of them a long time. And most of the time they have their patterns for sale there as well, and they have for a long time. Joji Locatelli has had one for years. She just redid it, and all of her patterns are available directly through her website and her blog. I know Westnitz, I believe, I don't think they're through his website, but he has a link to a different non-Ravelry site that you can use. But just look up the designer and see. We also have printed patterns here in the shop, so if there's ever, I do try and keep, it's hard because patterns are very, some people like them, some people don't, whatever. So I try to keep patterns that are available as a printed pattern in the shop for things that we have samples of. Not all patterns are available as a printed pattern from the printer. So anyway, I do have typically quite a few of the ones that we have that we either do for knit along or for store samples. I try to have those printed in the nice cardstock with they usually have a Ravelry download code. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but I do have those available. The printed patterns are always $8. It's a flat $8. So if you're interested in those, I have a big spinning rack in the corner. If there are more that you would like to see, or maybe from a different designer, you can always let me know and I can see if that designer or if those patterns are available. Like Stephen West, he has quite a few of his patterns available through there, but there's usually a delay. So like some of his latest ones aren't going to be available yet. It's usually like a 4-ish month delay. Andrea Mowry, a lot of hers, except for maybe the most recent, are usually available. Same with Joji, usually maybe a 1 or 2 month delay in the between when it gets posted that it's available and when it's available in the printed form. Okay, moving on. So you saw my droplet capelet. Like I said, we now stock Madeline Tosh Pashmina, and the next yarn I'm going to show you in the next finished object, which is Mad Tosh and Tosh Merino Light, which is their fingering single ply. So this I just finished over the weekend. Look how pretty this is. Ta-da! So this is the Vienza one skein little shawlette. Perfect to just toss on top of your outfit right now. These things are great because if you're in a pinch and you have to run in somewhere and there's a sign or you're told can't come in without a mask. Ta-da! Is it the most ideal thing? No, but it works. And it's cute. And it's an accessory. So, this is the Vienza mask. No, it's not. It's called the Vienza shawl. And it's really more of a scarf. Or a little shawlette. But it's perfect for that single skein. Let me show you close up. Because you have this beautiful twisted rib in the middle, and then you have these really pretty like diamondy lace, crisscross lace. Super easy lace. It's charted and written, so for those of you who don't like charts, it is a written lace pattern. And for those that do like charts, it's completely charted. So I used 1 skein of glazed pecan, from Mad Tosh, and it's just, it's the perfect color for me. But we have quite a few different colors, and I'll show you all the colors later. I think I have 16 colors, and it's perfect for that. If you did not want to use a single ply, then you could totally use any of Red Stag Fibers. A state fingering would be beautiful for it. basically any fingering weight. If it's super speckled or variegated, you're going to lose a little bit of that lace detailing, but you could totally still do something that's tonal or that's slightly speckled. Some of the Life in the Long Grass that we got in that I'm going to show you later is also perfect for it. So I'm already 20 minutes of yakking in, and we're still on finished objects. Next one up, this, I love this. I've worn it so many times already. Ta-da! This, I'm going to pop this on, is the Gracious sweater by Espace Tricot. It's a free pattern available on their website, blog type thing, or on Ravelry. And it's so cool. So the pattern is originally written as a long sleeve color blocked sweater. I shortened it, shortened the sleeves, and did one color holding 2 strands together of Tweed Silk Cloud by Shibui in colorway Bone, and Reed by also by Shibui in the colorway Bone. So this is a linen tweed mohair sweater, and it's perfect. So again, slightly cropped. It's not super cropped because this is my hip bone right there, so it hits right at the top of my hip bone. I think this is 12 inches on me, I think, from that. So basically, it's a yoked sweater, knit straight down. There's no, it kind of looks like it's A-line, but it's just straight. The reason is right after, or like the row that you separate for sleeves is also an increase. So it kind of flares it out a little bit, but it's perfect. You've got twisted rib there. And then for the sleeves, I just picked up, I knit 1 round, and then I did twisted rib. So it's perfect. It's light because of linen. It's wonderful. So we have Shibui Reed linen in stock, and we have the Tweed Silk Cloud mohair in stock. You could totally do this just out of Reed. It will be a little bit more see-through. You could also do this out of the BC Garn Lino that we have and hold pretty much any mohair with it. You could also just do Lino or Reed doubled if you wanted to. That would get you a little bit closer to the gauge that I got. A little bit thicker as well. You could also do a strand, just a strand of fingering. You could color block it. You could do all sorts of things. So that's just what I did. Last but not least, I finished a dotted raise. Ta-da! I love this too because it's like so neutral in my colors. Love. So we have Life in the Long Grass, Tolomaton, Ching Fiber, and my very favorite Ching Fiber of all time, Blue Finch, which we have restocked. This is the one I always forget, but we have it in stock. And the Life in the Long Grass, we have the Tolomaton is the only one that I don't have anymore in stock. Sold the last of it. But we have very similar colors that we can get you set up with, or we can help you pick out your own colors as well. So this was a fun 5-skein fade shawl. That one really helped get my knitting mojo back. Really did. Because it was kind of mindless, but yet you could fade out your colors and just have fun with it. So that is all of my finished objects. I am going to touch just a wee bit on what I'm knitting right now. I did not bring everything, but I am knitting a Weekender Light by Andrea Mowry, and I am knitting it out of Biche and Bouche La Petite yarn. This is the colorway blue gray or gray blue. I think it's blue gray. So you can see it's a high-low hem that I've just joined and started knitting in the round. And you have this nice little center spine. I love the Biche and Bouche. So it is a non-superwash. It's a woolen spun yarn, so it's a little toothy, but it's very soft because it's pure lamb's wool. And it's very similar to the base that Andrea used, which was a Brooklyn tweed. And it just creates a very lightweight garment in general. The other one that I'm doing is also an Andrea Mowry project, and you probably have seen me post or talk about this one. It's still not done, but we're getting close. We're getting close. We're getting close. This is the Satellite Shawl by Andrea Mowry. Trying not to drop all my stitches. Ta-da! It's huge. So this is a very nice brioche. I've got basically one more yellow section, one more peach, and one more of this maroon once I finish this maroon. Very nice shawl. Get you close up. So this is done with the fuzzy stuff. So this is Estate Fingering by Red Stag Fiber in Pine for this main cream color. And then we have Kelvin Grove, we have Gilded, and we have Passport. You need 1 skein each of the fuzzy yarn and then 2 skeins of your background main color. You could also just use all fingering weight. I've seen several versions of just fingering weight with no fuzz, and it's beautiful. So you have options there. I've got a couple other projects at home that I'm working on, but haven't made much progress on those. So I want to dive straight in with this stuff into, well, first off, we also have the new Pom Pom magazine. So they have 2 different covers, this cover and a red cover. You can kind of see it back there, right there, bing, bing, bing. Exactly the same inside. They just did 2 different cover printings. So super fun summer issue. Again, we have those in stock and ready to go. Let me grab the pashmina. It's right back here. I'm going to disappear off the screen. Oops. So much yarn. Okay. So the colorway that I knit my droplet capelet in is called Poison. It's this color right here. It's lovely. We also have Jade, a bright kind of green color. Move those off to the side. This is Great Gray Owl, nice medium tone gray. This is Silver Fox, which is a very light gray. Blue Stew, a nice kind of cerulean blue. This is Tart. This is definitely your red rather than a purpley red like Poison is. This is red. It's gorgeous. This is Medieval, beautiful purple. This is Celadon, a seafoamy type minty green. Green teal. Seafoam is what I would call it. This is Citrus, so a nice bright orange, but not too bright. Like, most people can wear this kind of orange. Very similar to like the Gigi orange. Not quite the same, but similar. This is Copper Pink. Beautiful, bronzy. If you like the nude pinks, this is the one for you. This is Filtered Daydreams. If you like nude but don't like pink, this is for you because it's truly nude. You can see. Nude. I feel like a nude lip. That was weird. Glazed Pecan. Perennial favorite. Lovely color. Looks great on everybody. This is the Feels. So it's blue, purple, but mostly purple. It's a really rich color. This is Joshua Tree. This is more olive and not as bright as Jade. This is Nocturne. This is like a rich, slightly teal version of navy. And then, obviously a favorite of mine, this is Whiskey Barrel. So there's this tiny hints of blues and gray in there. Tonal. Love it. Pairs really nice with glazed pecan. Just a FYI. So those are all the Pashmina colors. And, sorry, somebody was pulling up and I was saying if it was a delivery. It's not. Although, by the end of the week, we should have a restock, finally, of needles and notions. So, if you have been waiting patiently or impatiently for Chaigu cords, Chaigu needle tips, Chaigu fixed, we are getting a restock. It's not everything that I wanted, but we are at least getting some of the stuff back in. So, very good news on that front. Let me grab the Madeline Tosh Merino Light. I have some of the color here. Let's start there. So we have, of course, Glazed Pecan. We have Nocturne. We got all the same colors. Beautiful color. But you can see they all are a little bit different on the different bases. This is Whiskey Barrel. This is the Feels. Love this one. Great Gray Owl. So this is the Tosh Merino Light, which is a fingering weight single ply medieval. Let me grab these. Okay. So, Tarte. Love this. Like, this is your perfect red. It's really good. Joshua Tree. Jade. Not a huge difference, but there is a difference. So, Jade, Joshua Tree. I'll do the same thing. Okay. Copper Pink, Filtered Daydream. Blush Pink Nude, True Nude. Poison. Let me find the Tarte again, so you can see the difference. Bright True Red, like a cherry red. This is like a purple red. Very pretty, but there is a difference. Citrus. Celadon. See, there's a difference here too. This is Silver Fox. This is Celadon. And then Blue Stew. Blue Stew. Blue Stew. Why do I want to say that? Blue Stew. Blue Stew. Ta-da! Okay. Now, onto the even better part. And I'm not even going to show you all of the new yarn because we also got in a huge order of Ching during all this time. And so I will show that next episode because it's amazing. But I am going to run through what's left of Life in the Long Grass because we've already gotten through some of the colors, but they are stunners. So this is going to be rapid fire, just saying, because we have so many to go through and I've got to open the shop soon. Cut me this. This is Mineral. This is a new color. Almost all of these are new colors. Mineral. Look at that. Love. Where am I going to put these? I'm just going to put them right down here. This is Dusky. Love this one. This is Bronze. Beautiful medium chocolate brown. This is Reflect. We've had this one before. This is one of her kind of perennial colors. Very pretty. Pastels, purples. This is Murataki. Again, this is one that we have had before. Very nice, deep, deep, deep purple with a little bit of brown tones in there. Love this one. This is Oxidized. This is like grays and browns all mixed together. This is pewter. This is a gray with quite a bit of like a grapey purples and then a few mustard speckles. French lavender, beautiful. This definitely reminds me of French lavender or Provence and all that stuff. This is pressed flowers, so a little bit more purple and a little bit brighter than French lavender. This is Snowdrift. This is a cream base with purple and green and yellow speckles. Boom, Rose Garnet, another fan favorite here. This is Weathered. This one is like a mauve and brown combination with a little bit of like a raspberry in there. It's very pretty. Fig, there's only a couple weathered left. I had several people get sweater quantities. I will say everything that we are getting now, I am getting in like 8 or 10s, so that we have plenty for sweaters, etc. So if you're needing larger sweater quantities, don't hesitate because we probably have them or can get them. This is Fig. Beautiful. It's a little bit lighter than the Maritaki, so good fade combo. This Cactus Moonsoil, always a fan favorite. This is Harbor. I love this one. It's a rich teal. I'll compare these. This is Svara. So, see, this one's a bit brighter. This one's a little more green. This is Stellar. Beautiful royal blue. Winter View. This is real pretty. This is Stone. Nice light with black speckles and a few other colors like raspberry and yellow. This is Cauldron, her almost black. This is such a pretty one. This is Corrode, so it's a nice steely kind of with these bronze bits in there. This one's also a fan favorite. Wolf, white with little specks of gold and teal and raspberry. This is Henna Rose, Vibrant Fire Red. This one's a little more tomatoey red than like the tart. This is Terracotta. This is Fuller's Clay. Real pretty, kind of neutral with little mossy green bits in there. This one's fun. This one's called Chrysalis. Bright, springy, summery colors. Gorse. Nice golden. This is Space Ash, another one that we've had again. Really nice. Fades with the other teals. This is Rosehip. Love this one. This is Soft Day. This fades really nice with Fuller's Clay and Winter View. This is Lugnasa. This one sold out like last time instantly, and I've only got a few left, but this is such a fun color. This is Rose Gold. This is one of the new ones. It's bright and stunning. Queen, another perennial favorite because it's neutral, it's mauve, it's a little pink, a little terracotta rust. This is Seed Head. This version of Seed Head, it came out quite a bit darker than the last time we had it, but it's equally gorgeous. This is Cantaloupe. This is Noon. So Noon is like a muted version of Cantaloupe with a little more speckle. It's real pretty. This is Dragon Seed, another fan favorite. We sell out usually pretty quickly. This is Baroque. Grit. If you want neutrals with speckles of color, this is it because it's got those nice blues. It's got kind of purpley browns, little yellow green. It's real pretty. And similar is Wheat, just with more green and more yellow. This is also Morelands, blues and greens together. This is Tiller, nice kind of chocolatey brown with green in there. I love this one. Anthracite. You mix teals and navy together in steel gray. Love it. Love, love, love. I really want a big, yummy blue shawl. Navy blue shawl. I don't have one yet. Surprise. Hillside. This is Autumn. Real pretty. This is very similar to Josh's antique leather color. Mythical, bright. Flax. Foliage, nice springy color. And lastly, Jezebel, bright, vibrant pink. So that is all of the life in the long grass that we got in. I will show on the next episode the Ching fiber. We did get in Ching fiber fingering, restock of a lot of classic colors and also her new colors, such as Oslo and Nest and Nora, Sponge, Harajuku. Trying to think what are some of the other color names. Restocks of things like oyster and moss and champagne and things like that. And we also got in a ton of Surrey as well. So with the Surrey, we've restocked. We have almost a full wall of Surrey. So if you are looking for melted baby Surrey to do things like flying foxtails or Sereno Symphony, Seriously Holy, things like that, my chrysalis shawl, we have plenty and a nice variety of colors. So I'd love to put some stuff together for you. Just a quick update as far as the actual in-person store. We are open. We do have our summer hours, so 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. through the end of the month of July 2020. Then, starting in August, we are back to 10 to 5, our regular hours, Tuesday through Saturday. Classes are kind of touch and go. We have had to reschedule the lace class again. So that look for that in the fall. The brioche class, I am teaching that. I'm still going to teach it. However, I'm not accepting any new signups for it. If you are currently signed up for the past one that we had to reschedule, please let me know that you will be attending. If not, let me know as well so that I can just make the proper accommodations for keeping everyone spaced out. Yeah, this weekend we should have a special colorway from Red Stag Fiber for his anniversary. So look for that. And then in August we will have a trunk show from Diane, Suburban Stitcher. So that's going to be awesome. So stay tuned for more details on that. That will be happening during the yarn crawl, which, knock on wood, is still happening. You can get your tickets at texasyarntrail.com. I highly recommend that you go ahead and do that so you can secure your tote bag and your goodies and all that sort of stuff. And stay tuned to the podcast, our Facebook and Instagram, because we are going to be having new yarns coming in for the fall. That should start happening next month. We're going to have some really awesome stuff, so stay tuned. Please support your local yarn shops. I know of a few that have closed, and it's sad, and I don't want to end up that way, and I don't want to see any more of my friends have to close their shops. So do what you can. If you can't purchase from them, at least in my case, I don't know about other people, but I would assume they would want the same. If you can't purchase something, but you can still show your support, you can like this podcast, you can share it with your friends, you can subscribe, you can like our Facebook, you can leave us a Google review, a Facebook review, things like that. You can follow us on Instagram. All the details will scroll up at the end. You can share us on your Facebook, things like that. Just help spread the word about our shops. Of course, we ship online, so you don't have to be local to help us out. And yeah, so hope to see you soon in the store, and if not, hope to see you online. I just want to thank you guys so much for all of your support, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.